All right, welcome everyone to our special broadcast today. Is a week roundup, and we are stepping into the weekend. And as we step into the weekend, a lot of some news that are like gossip, some like statements, and some like maybe a reflection of the past going into the future, on how things can be done and done well in our dear country, Nigeria. It's weekend, guys. Ella is supposed to go to KD. Philip is supposed to go and rest. He's been working all through the week. And me, a lot of basketball games this week.
Really?
Yes.
Are you playing basketball tonight?
Yes, this week.
Probably I stay back and watch you before I move tomorrow.
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, that'd be
That'd be
great.
great.
It's a veteran. He's just playing for fun, not for winning.
You will know when I'm a veteran when you
people
come.
play for fun, you meet very much business people and political people. You talk
Exactly.
and you achieve a lot.
All right, it's all fun this weekend at the Mo Arena for basketball, elite basketball, hosted by Hansen Oguche. For kids, for family, Mo Arena is the place. Somewhere in Accra Street, who says Zone 5. Basketball all the way. Okay, all right, let's get down. Now, the governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, is talking like a leader that the PDP have lacked in a while. I mean, Wike seems to hold sway, but I don't know. I think Philip will be able to help me look into that in an extreme manner, whether they are playing to the gallery so that we can applaud and all that, because Seyi Makinde in the last election supported Tinubu, and now Tinubu is going for a second time. It looks as if himself and Wike, they are at loggerhead. They are not. They are looking for who control the soul of the party. Philip, let me start with you.
Thank you very much. Life is such an interesting event, and they will say that in politics, there's no permanent friend. All they have is permanent interest, and there are no permanent enemies. So don't be deceived when you see them fighting in political arena. They are not enemy. It's maybe they don't have a particular interest at the same time, at that time. So it is the interest that is playing out. Going back to the 2023 election, the build-up, don't forget that Makinde is doing his last tenure as a governor of Oyo State. As at that time, he needed the support of Wike and probably Tinubu to get back to office to do 8 years as a governor of Oyo State. So he needed to look at his interests and the friends he needs to protect that interest. Now, Makinde is rounding up. He's a young man. He's an ambitious man. He may be interested in the presidency. And if the SAT had one term of 4 years, because the slogan then, don't forget, there was this group they called, they said the five governors, the group of the 5 governors of the PDP from the South, who said their interest is to ensure
that the Southern candidate gets it.
The South produced the next president after Major General Buhari, who just passed away, and that since the PDP could not give them a Southern presidential candidate, they are going with the. I know they really put Nigeria in a very difficult state. At a point, you look as if they were going with Peter Obi, but the last minute, they went with Tinubu, and that produced Tinubu as president, and also gave Makinde his seat as the governor of Oyo State. Now, fast forward to 2027 or 2025, as we were today, going to 2027. The PDP had been under the control of Minister Wike as per the leadership of the PDP as it were today, the secretary, person of Senator Ayam, and the artist chairman Damagu. They seem to be wicked men. And this has put the PDP in a very bad state. In fact, at some point, Nigeria concluded that the PDP is a dead party. And as it appears to be, Makinde and order, they are trying to revive the PDP, and that's not going down well with Wike. They were able to, they were at a point the committee set up and then for reconciliation, and there was reconciliation was struck, and Wike accused Makinde of delaying the reconciliation, and they went back to the drawing board. Whatever Wike wanted, the Makinde group agreed and gave it to him, retaining Ayawu as the secretary of the party, and they now said, okay, NECNA finally met and they agreed for a convention. It appears Wike seems that he's losing grip, that by the convention that we vote his men out, he's taking a different dimension. Just yesterday here, his men came out to say that the zoning committee set up and headed by the governor of Bayelsa State, that they are not part of it, and they are not going to Ibadan for any convention, and that they are going to Port Harcourt and they are doing their own thing. So Makinde, and he said a lot of things about, Wike also came out over the weekend on Channel and said so many things about Makinde and all that. But Makinde is saying that, Makinde is being a matured man here, saying that, look, I won't go low down to the gutter with people, though he never mentioned anybody, but you know who he's referring to. But
I will let you continue, but let me quote exactly what he said. Yeah. He said, when people sink into the gutter, he said, I don't follow them.
Yeah, exactly. He said, I don't follow them, but we will bring them back. We will allow them to finish their talk. We will be doing what we need to do, but we will talk to them. You see, that is maturity. Yes, your question is very vital, because is it that these two persons are playing to the gallery? Are they deceiving Nigeria? Because they are best of friends. Are they working for the same purpose which they work for in 2023, or they've actually fall apart? We cannot say precisely, because you cannot trust Nigerian politicians, especially when it has to do with Makinde and Wike. This is my take.
Ella, the thing about Minister Wike is that we normally say you can't eat your cake and have it. You are in APC, in some sort. You are holding PDP. It's just like that small child that they give him bones on this hand and his mouth is on the breast. He doesn't want to lose any of them. I mean, they are precious. You can't eat the two at the same time. Focus is the bane of everything. Why is Wike holding here and holding here and still making sure he controls PDP?
Why are you trying to make me the spokesperson, a new spokesperson for Wike? Wike is not in APC. Wike had never resigned from PDP. Wike had never denied being a PDP member. He's a PDP member. And I remember I mentioned in one program that, you see, governance is a collective, inclusive business. Wike is a PDP person whom have favor from the Mr. President, and President feels he should be, or he's in a good position to do his bids in FCT.
Ella is not favor. They say one good turn deserves another.
Yes.
Did the president favor too?
Well, as it stands today, he still remains a PDP member, having still hold on to his membership, not written his word, resigning and whatever. Now, and then he also said, as a Nigerian and as a minister, that he is comfortable with the present administration and he is going to do anything and work for the present administration. For Makinde, the governor of Oyo State, that supported Tinubu in his first tenure, he would have maybe expected some certain things, that the president, he felt the president will achieve, and maybe he feel those things are not coming up. Probably he's beginning to get a bit disappointed, or feel that there is need for a change. Normally you could support me in a cause with the expectation that I will achieve certain things or do certain things your own way. And if you feel that that is not going the way you expect, and maybe I'm not doing as you expect, maybe to the level, you still have the choice of supporting another person or presenting yourself. So I think the both of them are playing politics, in the way they feel it could, benefit them and the nation at large, much later. But having said that, looking at Wike's position, like is expected, if you think that the PDP is not going the right way you want it or you expect it to go, right from the time of the primaries of the 2023, that he got very upset, based on what he felt betrayals and not keeping by parties' rules and regulation, agreement within themselves. I think he would have been more of a gentleman, to have left the PDP, haven't gained favor with the APC, all right, haven't gained favor with the APC, working with the APC at the moment, and having the right, of course, to make a choice and, leave the PDP and join the APC. And that is where you say, like a child between the breasts of the mother and then the bonds. But if a child feels he can suck this breast and still keep on to the bonds, which is what Wike is doing well.
Philip, most of the time, even here, we normally say that it's politics they are playing. Is politics detrimental, or politics to promote value, norms, obedience, or adherence to the Constitution? Or it's against the people?
Those of you who are political scientists, you talk about, you propound so many theories that will make life better. But it appears that those theories that you propounded as political scientists never works in Nigeria. The truth remains that politics ought to have been played to uphold the rules of law to better the life of the people. But here we are in this country, we've seen that politics is played for personal aggrandizement, accumulation of wealth for one and his family instead of wealth distribution. Because we have so many political theories. There are some, the welfareism school of thought, the capitalists, and the rest of them. All these are political theories. They all gear towards making the society better. But here we are. What we have is unimaginable. It beats both our economic theory and our political theory. They are different from what we have on paper. So that's what we have in this kind of arrangement. When the people don't play by the rules, you can't really explain it. That's what we have here. So when you narrow it down to what we are seeing today in Nigerian politics, especially as it's being played by the actors and the actresses, I think the political scientists should do another research using Nigeria as a case study and come up with another theory that will suit the Nigerian political environment.
Now, what Wike is doing right now is obvious. That is to sink PDP or hold PDP in one side while he still continues flirting with APC. But it looks as if Makinde is not comfortable with that. Are we going to see more of these actions?
Definitely. Makinde is not the only one in this struggle. Professor Jerry Ghana, among the founding father of PDP, is also on this struggle. You see, like we discussed in our earlier discussion today, it appears the PDP are waking up from their slumber and say that, look, one man cannot hold us to ransom. To think that this man that is doing all of this is alive today is who he is today by the virtue of the fact that he was a member of PDP. PDP gave everything to him, and they want to destroy PDP. They are saying that this enough is enough. They are saying that they are going to go ahead and do the right thing. If it means Wike leaving the party, that they will do the right thing. But you see, Wike is being very destructive to PDP, having enjoyed everything from PDP. Starting from local government chairman, chief of staff to a governor, a minister, a governor, and now the only thing has gained from the APC is a ministerial slot, which PDP
as a result of him being
destructive to PDP, which PDP has earlier given to him, even before now. So what it means that it's left for the PDP themselves like the likes of Body George, Professor Jerry Ghana, Makinde, Senator Dixie Serika, and Senator Diri, Governor of Bayelsa State, and the rest of them, to stand up as men and say, look, PDP is our party, we will not allow it. And that's what Makinde said. Even with the by-election, with all the manipulation, PDP comes second in almost all the results. It shows that Nigerians still have interest for the PDP. Party. That is what they need is a little work, and they can still win the Nigerian back to themselves. And I think they've seen that following Wike will not help them, so they are trying to do things differently to save their party.
Well, we will be watching and looking how PDP is kind of getting out of the doldrum, standing on their own, and all that at this time. And like you said just now, during the last election, we could still see some reflexes of the potency of PDP, as they've always been and all that. We'll see how Makinde stares this, because we have not heard much of Bala Mohammed, that's the chairman of the Governors Forum of PDP. But Makinde is kind of steering well. I think he's receiving some encouragement and some tutoring from people like the former MAMSA guy.
Professor Jerry Body George.
I
think why he's very prominent now, he has to do with the SAT zoning committee, which both himself and Wike, hail from. So Bala has to deal with the not, aspect and the general body of the governors of PDP. So I think most especially because he has to deal with the SAT, and Makinde happen to be the leader of the governors of the SAT, he has to take the leadership role, which he is doing very well.
All right, we'll be looking at them and see how they comes out with it. We need some form of good rescuing and or form of strong opposition. It has only been Peter Obi that has been doing that. PDP as the party is rising up is welcome. Now, Eli, Buratai reigned and ruled as chief of army staff. It looks at a particular point as if there was special interest in him, because I think he's not one of the longest chief of army staff.
He was.
Now I don't know if he's still an ambassador, because I know he was an ambassador. But right now he's saying that what we have in, whether you call it banditry or whatever form of violence, insecurity that we have had in our country, is not only for the army to solve. From what I know, if there's an external aggression against a nation, one of the responsibility of the army, which is their primary responsibility, is to protect the territorial integrity of that nation, making sure the border is secured, making sure nobody comes to put up another flag in our country. And that's what the army is for. But he said that the army cannot win this alone. He said there are a lot of reasons for that. He said number one of the reasons is the fact that this fight was started from a political standpoint and not just a religious one. And now the man that couldn't defeat Boko Haram or any form of terrorist act is saying that the military needs help. Do you think that's the way it should go?
In a very normal society, Buratai should have given account of his time in office, as the chief of army staff, because everything he needed in terms of logistics, resources, he was given. And then he should have given account because he didn't achieve what he was supposed to achieve. I think it's a split over of their lapses that we are still seeing today in our security issues. But you see, in a country like ours, where there's no accountability for governance, it's a normal thing for him to come up and say this today, where he was to either tackle the insecurity or resign and give room to a younger or a more vibrant, general who would have tackled it, headlong. I disagree with his suggestion at this moment, because before him, late General Sani Abacha said this, that if the hand of government is not in any security, internal insecurity, it shouldn't last longer than a particular time frame, you know. T.Y. Danjuma said while he was in office, criticized their approach, because T.Y. Danjuma occupied that same office before him. He never went to look for advice from people that were there before him when he couldn't tackle this thing, because they were making name and money out of this. You could imagine how one time NSA Dasuki was, you know, boggled by later what do you call it, Yaradua. So you see, these people make money, personal gains from this thing. So he should account to Nigerians the resources given to him, his efforts, his achievement, and inability to curtail this. And he didn't suggest to the president then, the commander-in-chief, when he was heading this, when he was getting direct allocation and resources to tackle this. Has he just suddenly realized that this could be, you know, be addressed with the help of the locals, which Danjuma said, and they were trying to target on him as being political, like he was not in support of the president or the government of the day. You know, so we have a country where people don't account, people are not held accountable for their actions, and that is why you could just come up after wasting time and resources, and you begin to now suggest. Are they saying now that me and you should go and carry gun, like Danjuma said we should have arms to protect ourselves, that they were against him then? Is he now saying now that we should, I don't know, we should arrange local vigilantes? What is he trying to tell Nigerians? He should come out clear and tell us what he feels by giving account. While I was in office, this is my achievement, this is why we could not stop this thing, and this is how it can be stopped. We need a direct answer. Yes.
Do you agree with Buratai?
Now, speaking about the message shown out by the former chief of staff, person of General Buratai, saying that the insecurity we have in this country it doesn't require only what the man said. He said is beyond military solution alone. That there should be other, you know, solution. He made mention of economic solution. He made mention of political solution and social solution. Sometimes, yes, the messenger could be a very dirty channel, but the message, we have to look at the message critically. You know, this message has been on for some time now. You know, the present chief of defense staff has said that the present insecurity situation is beyond military approach. The DSS henchman has also said that we should go beyond approaching the insecurity solution with mere military approach. You know what Buratai was saying was that, look, yes, this is a problem, and that the military are doing their bit, but it will require beyond the military bit. You know, sometimes we are quick at looking at people from what we know about them, but this man was in that saddle for a very long time.
So why did he not affect some of the things he said?
I'm coming to that. So the man could be speaking from experience, what he experienced there. Yes, I agree. As a man who has been in that office, he should account for his stewardship. Why? Because he was picked to man that position because they felt he was qualified to do the needful, and he failed to do that. But that being said, but what is he saying? Does it make sense? Do we really need? Because the man said one of the things that is leading to insecurity is poverty. That there's an economic problem, unemployment.
That's the social part of it.
That's the social part of it.
Yes, because he said the economic part of it,
yes,
the political part of it, and the social part of it.
Now, coming to the political aspect of it, which is very gamey.
Yeah.
For the man to say that it's a political problem, that it was started politically, the man, if you ask me, he should be questioned. Because having held that office, he knows so much. So how was it started with a political reason? Because that's what he's saying. They said that this insecurity was started for political reason. having achieved what they wanted to achieve. It could be, so that when I said it should be questioned, so it should be, it's most probably that it was part of those who started it for political reasons. Now they have achieved their purpose. They could not clean up. So it should be asked how.
Or maybe he has intelligence as a result of his position.
Yes. So it should be asked further. It should be proved further to advise Nigerians how to apply that political solution to solve the insecurity problem, because you cannot just tell me that he said it was started by politics or politicians and they left it for the military to solve. This way his way. So if he had the intel that it was started by the politician, so he knows that they started it, he knows those people, they should to see how they can apply that same solution. They that started it to clean up the mess. So in fact, we shouldn't just take it that it's criticized or with first, yes, the message is worth taking. Secondly, it should be probed further to get more information from you on how we can solve the problem, because he seems to have solution to the problem.
Well, that would be great if like you said just now. Most of the time, people are not called back to answer for times they are in the office, and that's quite very bad. Now, I wonder if he knew these solutions as Chief of Army Staff, why didn't he effect it? Why did he apply them? Yeah, that's right. Why did he advise the president?
A problem known is already half solved.
Half solved, exactly.
So why
bring it that it's out of office?
You were
exactly
for close to 8 years. Even when you left office, you didn't advise the next government. You were given ambassador appointment, and you went. So you see, we need people who will have the interest of Nigerians at heart, not having been quiet for some time. Instead of giving account of your time in office, you come up today and you are saying this.
He should have advised the government that they should try and make their economic policies more friendly, like what Kojo Wile said. Kojo Wile said, try and throw the social net. Do you understand? Let the social net spread. Now, if they were there and they said, look, this fight is not only about physical fight, it's about hunger. You see, it's about deplorable infrastructures that we have in our country. For example, the president is talking about what's it called? Cancer equipment, this, that in hospitals. I wonder if we have seen them, and all that. You see, most of the time, you don't just talk about what you do. People don't see what you do.
Exactly.
And that's why.
So in addition to what you have said, because, like you said, when you look at, Kojo Wala's statement and what Buratai said, is it not clear to all that insecurity is prevailing today because of poor infrastructure? Yeah. Because when we have good road, when you are driving a smooth road, can bandits just come and block the road?
No.
It's because the roads are not motorable, so they can easily come out and block the road and take people to the bush.
And if you've also been hungry before, you will know. If you've been physically hungry, say, the man come to eat. Jesus said, "Thou shalt not live by bread alone." Oh yeah, now.
And if you look at it critically, he was Chief of Army Staff or thereabout then. We still have soldiers that were fully willing, ready to fight this insecurity. They were denied their allowances under this same chief. They were denied modern equipment. Those that stood up to speak were arrested, detained, accused of mutiny. So discouragement from the office of the highest ranking order to that of the normal field soldiers, which he was part of. Under his watch, we had soldiers that were killed that would not have been killed if they had the right equipment. We have soldiers that up to today are afraid of speaking out. Reason is because the few that were bold enough to speak, instead of taking their critics, instead of taking their cry and look into it to see how they can better give equipment. They were not fighting about allowances alone. They were talking about equipment. And some of these people were being arrested and detained. So there's discouragement. So the economic aspect of it, also, they are also responsible. He should apologize to his soldiers where he was supposed to certain things that he didn't do, so that he can encourage the other ones that are in field today to fight this fight we demand that, of course, our effort has been recognized.
We've been rewarded.
And that is just the truth.
Well, we wonder, the other day we spoke about it here, it's only when people are out of office, that's when they give
come to their recesses.
They come to their recesses and giving advice to other people to carry them out. Meanwhile, they had the opportunity of being there for a very, very long time. I hope that the Chief of General Staff, Chris Musta, is hearing, and the Chief of Army Staff, all the chiefs, I hope they are hearing and they step up. Let this insecurity pass us by. And like Okonjo Iweala, I don't really fault what Okonjo Iweala said. A lot of people are faulting what Okonjo Iweala said. I don't. He came to the president. He said some of the monies we applied for outside have come out. And we also noticed for a time that the economy is stable. But you need to throw social net. What he also she needed to do was also tell the government that the infrastructures are in a deplorable state. The president goes for medicals abroad. Akpabio just came back from medicals.
Mr. Piki, could you say that the Nigerian economy is stable?
Well,
because the way I asked you the question last week, the fuel pump price, which is the determinant of Nigerian economy, went from 800 to 945 or something. Then it came back to 840. So could you call that stability?
Well, and
again, the dollar to naira. What is the average rate? Is it stabilized?
Right
now, when I went to school in the UK in 2004. The dollar was 150. At any time you want to buy a dollar to a naira, it's 150 naira. But today, can you say you buy a dollar for 1,500 today and you go to the market and you get it, and that's the problem?
Be sure of what you meet. Even the
also, do you call that a stability in the economy? I wonder if you are joining them.
No. I'm not. You see, most of our fights are not fights against individuals. They are fights against the system and policies that are unpopular. Policies that are unpopular. We had a guest yesterday on Insecurity Special, and he was telling us some things. We said we want to see popular opinion. And like we said, democracy allows everybody to talk, and all that. But you see, to me, Buratai coming to speak now, I think there's no moral justification if he's coming to speak now. Truly, what he said is true, but the morality of his justification.
He had opportunity to have allowed this thing.
He was there for a long time, and he couldn't.
So what the advice to the present chiefs is that now the Nigerians are not happy with Buratai coming to speak at this time, though his statements are good,
valid.
They are valid, but they are not coming at the right time. Therefore, chiefs advise the president and the presidency that look, the fight is not military fight alone. Economics fight, infrastructural fight, and all of that. All that put together, it will make the fight easier for the Nigerian army to defeat the insecurity.
All right, the Chief of Army Staff even weighed in on some of the issues and said one of the reasons that there's a persistent fight still going on is because most of the finances come from gold money that are sold. Where are these gold mined from? They are mined from the Far North, and some a lot of states around us. But you see, one of the ways to first of all tackle terrorism is to lock the source of their funding and stifle them. But I don't know if they've done that. But let's quickly move because time is on the run. The son of Peter Obi, the former presidential candidate under Labour Party, has been under attack. People saying that he has that he's gay, and all that. That practically that's what it is. But he has come out to say that, no, I can decide to sit down with anybody I want to sit down with, talk to anybody I want to talk to, and also I'm not a politician, but my father has my vote because I feel he's the right person to rule this country. Philip, quickly.
Yes, you see, the Osaloka, is that his name?
Yeah, Osaloka.
He said it very clearly that, look, The only reason why this attack and misbehavior, viral video everywhere is because my father's involvement in Nigerian politics. The truth remains that the rights enshrined in the Constitution all over the world gives everybody right of association. Whomever you want to associate with is your choice. The fact that Osaleke is Peter Obi's son do not restrict him not to associate with people he want to associate with. Having said that, the man said he only have picture with his group of picture with his friends, and there's no way to show that his friends are gay or not. But that you spotted somebody who is gay among his friends,
who looks like
a gay, because you have no proof to show that the man is not a gay. But if you say so, people who are in America, because in America today you cannot know who is a gay or who is not a gay, because you cannot just walk into a room and see somebody and greet him good afternoon or good afternoon. You must find out who that person is. So because it's a Peter Obi's son, before he sits down with people, he should find out who they are before he sits down with them. The answer is no. The truth remains that yes, this campaign is a campaign of calumny against Peter Obi, but the Nigerian people are wiser. It is not because if for instance, assuming Peter Obi's son is a gay and Obi has good intention, is that enough not to consider Obi for the office he's asking for? That is not enough. So that's why the boy has come to say that, look, my father has my vote, not because it's my father, because my father is that person who is qualified to rule Nigeria at this time. I know I was looking at a post in one of the news social media. The guy came up with a long list of who Peter Obi is. Peter Obi is the only person offered 700 million naira as allowance after, as a former governor, he rejected it. He was offered 500 million naira as a chairman of SEC, he rejected it. Peter Obi was offered $1 million as the best governor who be able to achieve the millennium goal, he rejected it. The guy wondered whether if Peter Obi is in Nigeria proper. If the man had these credentials, and this is what we lack in Nigeria, because if assuming the son is a gay, you now take it against him, why would they come up with that campaign at this time? Why this time? Because 2027 is around the corner, and Obi has declared interest to run for 2027, and because I think it's in the Bible when Samuel as a judge was rejected by the Jews that they want their own king. And he said, Samuel said, is there anyone here that I took his whatever, whether gold, cheap and all that? If you say, said, I will return it. Because they found nothing of Peter Obi, they went to his son. And because they've not been able to find anything tangible, they went to a picture he snapped with friends. And they spotted somebody who looked like a gay. Oh, they said Peter Obi's son is a gay.
And they photoshopped
and they photoshopped. They could be photoshopped. We have seen it before in the Pope burial and installation. That Peter Obi led that for the president or what have you and all have you, and they came up with all sorts of things. Assuming the son is a gay, does the son live in Nigeria? How is that a problem to how is that part of our problem in this
country? It is solving our political and economic problems.
So the question is a very it's a pathetic situation that the distractor of Peter Obi can go this low.
All right, Michelle Obama said, if they can go this low, we can go this high. Eli, I want you to weigh on it.
It's not a surprising thing. It's been long expected. All right, to look for how to bring in issues that will discredit the person of Obi. But the joy of it is this. They didn't come to tell us the young man was living a kind of flamboyant life in the UK. They didn't come to tell us the kind of houses or cars he drives, because the father was once a governor.
Parties he attends.
They didn't come to tell us how much money he go about donating to flood victims, to whatever, which is unexplainable how he
got the money.
They didn't come to tell us things that would have shown us that he has state fund or unexplainable fund at his disposal. They didn't come to tell us how he go about raping people and all that thing. So you see, as I say, it's a good thing coming the way it's coming. But you see, they say the golden fish have no hidden place. Anything that is connected to Peter Obi,
Strice.
that is just how it's going to be, because so far so good. He will tell you, go to Anambra, the records are there.
Go and verify.
Go and verify. And then he has a very low family that he never allowed to interfere in governance, even when he was governor of Anambra State. So the young man, it's okay, he tried to come out to clear his name, but some of us who know what politics is, and Nigerian kind of politics, are not too surprised that they want
people can go that low.
That low.
All right.
But it's good now he has come out to clear himself. And then we advise the people, if you want to check the activities of the children of public office holders, present, past, and intended, do it, take it round.
Holistically.
Take it round, holistic. Don't be selective. Don't select one person and
leave the other one.
If you have gone to bring the profile of Peter Obi's child, bring more of his profile. Did he go to school? What is he doing in the UK? Is he living on father's wealth? Is he living on Anambra stolen wealth? Then
that's real profiling.
And then do profile the rest. The son of Tinubu, Atiku, Babangida, and co. Let's know their what they are doing. Are they responsible? Yeah, because we want us to believe that this one is irresponsible, or we'll take it that way. Bring everybody out. Let's see how they are.
All right.
Then we'll know how to value them.
All right, thank you guys. It's been a weekend special. Going to the weekend, like Alaji will always say, enjoy your weekend. And from Tinubu's perspective, we really hope that there will be enough money in your pocket to enjoy the weekend. It's been a weekend
If
special.
there's no money, we'll write to you. And
Okay,
we'll
all
get
right.
some from you.
Okay, I'm waiting.
No, we don't need to write. We are telling you now.
Exactly.
Okay, it's been a wonderful time analyzing most of the things that are trending in the news politically, and we wish that most of our government hears and adjusts. The Nigerian of our dream, where everything works, is what we want. Thank you, and bye-bye. Enjoy your weekend.